These are the 4 lagoons below the Naalya National Housing Estate in Najeera municipality. Lagoons were constructed more than 20 years ago and were supposed to handle refuse generated by less than 1,000 homes. However, over time, the area has seen its population increasing dramatically.
We have apartment blocks that have 40 blocks, 50 blocks, 100 blocks. We're having a new one coming up with over 140 apartments. But the facility has remained the same, nothing has changed.
Most of the homes here are connected to the sewerage line that connects the effluent to the lagoons. Senior Manager Sewerage Services National Water explains how they function.
We have a more humid environment, okay? So the environment is more humid, the air around is more capable to absorb these malodorous agents. And then since the air is humid, it will now appear to the human's nose as an increase in smell.
The smell is too much. The smell comes from there up to the rooms. They charge us 75% of the lagoon. So I don't know why they charge us that one and then there is no service.
People who are light sleepers will not sleep. They will practically feel like that smell is coming from their kitchen or their living room. Yeah? And if you are living because the lagoon is downstream, and therefore the smell will just go up. So people's bedrooms especially will receive the biggest amount of that smell. Yeah. And then if somebody has health issues, it can also even get worse.
As the sun scorches the pale green algae, an almighty smell comes out.
According to the locals, whenever it rains like this, then it normally brings the bad smell, especially from these lagoons. This is mainly because the material or the sewage starts to evaporate since it has already conducted a lot of heat during the day. But they're also saying that in 2019, 2020 and 2021, they didn't have such kind of pong coming from these lagoons. And so they are wondering whether National Water and Sewerage Corporation could have changed the chemicals that they are using by opting for cheaper ones.
Like the situation we have now, we are able to introduce a couple of chemicals, but this is not sustainable in long term because such a treatment is done by biological processes, and then these chemicals will tend to destabilize the system in long term, not alone the fact that chemicals are quite expensive.
According to the area leadership, the people who own homes here are counting losses, and the prices of the houses are lower than those far from here.
If you look at a radius of, say, 50 meters from the lagoons, people whose property was being occupied by very stable tenants have left. Yeah? Now, the instability in tenancy is so high. After 3 months, 6 months, they have to find another tenant. Some of them have even left without paying and saying, but you didn't tell me this was the problem.
We have what we call a dislodging schedule. So this is basically the emptying of these systems, which is done twice every year. So these are now ready for to be dislodged or emptied in simple terms. And before the end of this month, this process is going to start. Because
with the many structures coming up, some of the people are opting cheaper means of connecting to the sewerage pipeline.
You have both the refuse from people's homes and stormy water running in the same channel.
The biggest challenge that we have here, this is a gated community, and we tend to have limited access into the premises, but we are working hand in hand with the local leaders of this place who have been very helpful. We attend their meetings and we sensitize the community on how to better use these systems.
So what is the lasting solution to this?
We have natural wastewater treatment plant which incorporates smell treatment.
After treatment, the water that comes out is released into the environment. Its main catchment is also threatened by human settlement cropping up. Therefore, it won't be too long and another problem will surface. SUDIR BYARUHANGA, NTV.